Hey there everyone. So today I'm going to be taking you through the process of making a pop-up card for my son's friend's birthday. Now he is footy crazy, so what I've done here is this is a previous card that I have used and I'm just going to change it to make it a little bit more footy orientated. So what I've done here is I've selected the football and I'm just making sure that it's the same scale as the other items that I've used before. That way I know that it will fit within the parameters of the card that I've already made. Now I'm just going to go ahead and remove all the extra pictures on my screen that we won't be needing for this card. It's just going to make it a little bit easier for you guys to follow along, and it just clears up space on my screen for me. This little shape here is a gift card holder. It can be also used for money or personalized letters. I will be using the bigger one today, so we'll remove that smaller one a little bit later. This funny little shape here, this is going to be a leverage, which is going to move that little football up and down as we open and shut our birthday card. I will explain it a little bit later on in the video. But first, what I'm going to do is find a Toyota symbol. Now, the Cowboys jersey does feature this on their jerseys, so I've just jumped onto the internet and I've searched for the item that I need and I've put it into a program called BG Remover. This program just takes all the background out of the photo and leaves just the selected visual that you see there on the screen. So when I upload it into my program, it's the same file as all the other items on my screen and the machine knows how to cut that out. Alright, now I'm just going to go through and play around with the colours a little bit. The Cowboys colours are majority navy blue with white, a little bit of yellow and red. So I'm just going to have a play around and see what colour schemes I think will work best for the card. That's one of the Cowboys jerseys there, so that's what I've had a look at just to get reference to what colours I should be using. Okay, now that I've decided on what colours I want to be printing, I'm going to get ready to cut. Now, what the Cricut machine does is it separates all the different cuts into their colours, which makes printing really, really simple. It gives you step by step what colour we're doing and what it will be printing. So I've just stuck the white onto the mat. And as you can see here, my mats are really quite old and they're not sticking to the mat properly. So I've just used a little bit of sticky tape to stick them down. But just so that you're aware, this makes things very difficult and it can make your machine not cut things properly. So yes, I would definitely recommend getting nice new sticky mats. This little bit here is one of the mechanisms that's going to make the football lift up and down. It previously had the lines already scored in there, so I just had to fold them along the lines. And of course, we're going to go through and cut all the other colors out. And now let's put the card together. This is our base color. And I have our first two inserts. Now these inserts do have little pre-cut tabs already in them for you, which makes it really simple when assembling the card. It took me a very long time to actually work out where these cuts needed to be in order for this card to fold properly, but now that I've done all the work and I've saved this folder, it means that next time I print it, it's so much easier for me to do it. Now I'm just going to glue the little tab on the back. By securing it on the back first, it just makes this process a whole lot easier. So I'm going to start with this side first, make sure it's securely in place before I move on to the other part. Now, the little trick with getting your card to open and shut properly is once I've glued this little tab at the back, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to lay the card down where it needs to be when it's folded, and I'm actually going to close the card up. As you can see, it's nice and flat there, and all the little mechanisms have been glued into place where they need to be for it to work properly. Now I'm just going to add on the gift card holder. Make sure that's nice and stuck down there before we move on to the next part. Now this is the fun part. This is the little mechanism that is going to make our football move when we open up our card. So I'm just going to have a play around here and see which way I actually want the mechanism to work. Okay, it doesn't work that way. So let's turn it back around this other way. Now that's the way I think that I might go, but let's have a look. We'll just glue this bit on first. And when I am messing around with this mechanism, I always make sure that I just use sticky tape to stick it on. This just means that if I mess it up and I put it in the wrong position, it's really easy to remove and change, and it doesn't damage the cardstock that I've already got on there. Alrighty, so let's add the grass on there. As you can see, this bit sticks out a little bit too far, so we're just going to trim that up a little bit, so that when I shut my card, it doesn't stick out from the end of the card. And we'll just glue that one straight on there. And now as you can see a little bit of the white showing from behind the grass. We're just going to cut that little bit out. And with that remaining bit that we cut off, we'll just stick it down there, and now it looks like we've got grass along the whole way of the card. Now I'm just going to jump back onto my program and just change up some of the little details and problems that I came across while I was designing this card. Because I'm just designing it as we go, you know, that you're always going to come across little things that need to be changed. So if I can make the changes while I am working, it means that when I make this card next time, I've already ironed out some of the little problems that we came across, and it just makes it easier and less stressful for next time. So this bit here is I'm just changing some of the shapes. Not that I necessarily needed to, but once again, if I make these changes now, when I go to make this card next time, I've got it all here ready to go. And let's just add some pretty little clouds, because why not? Now, as you can see, this cloud is just sticking up above the card. So in order to change that, I just add a shape over the top of the cloud, and I use a button called slice, and that slice will just remove that portion of the cloud that I don't want on there. Now let's play around with the front of the card display. Now I'm just going to let you guys watch this for a little bit while I have a little bit of a play around, because it is a little bit of a long process. But initially what we're doing is I'm going to find a jersey, and I'm just going to change the details on the jersey to suit the child that the birthday card is going to be for. Now, because I am recording my voiceover after I have already made this video, I have come to realize that the child is actually turning 10, not 9. And I've also spelled his name wrong, so 2 for 1 there, but we can fix that up before we hand the card over to him, so it's not a big deal. Once again, I'm just going to have a bit of a play around with the colors and see what I think is going to work best. And by changing the colors in this process, it just means again that when I'm ready to cut out the actual image, the machine is going to sort them, all the colors, onto the same cut, which makes it a lot easier than trying to change the paper yourself and guess which color you're going to be doing as you go. I'm going to type it out here and put it on so you guys can see what it would look like on the card, but I'm not actually going to cut out the happy birthday on my Cricut machine because it's very fiddly and the blade doesn't like cutting up the little letters, but I've just got it there so you can see what it's going to look like in the end. Okay, so this next little part is a little bit technical, but what I am wanting to do is cut out a negative from the little faceplate. So because the card itself is a navy blue, I'm going to remove the shape of the jersey from the white card that's going to go on top. A little bit tricky for me to explain, but I'm just going to let you guys watch, and when you see the end result, hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to you. So here is the before, and then just like magic, the after. Now, I do apologize. I did go ahead and put a little bit more work into the card behind the scenes. As you can see, I added in some goalposts. I thought that was a really funky design choice to make the ball look like it was actually getting kicked through the goals. And then I just also added some little details with textures, some little stitch lines, some little lines in the grass. But as you can see here, you can fit a gift card in there. Oh, there the ball goes again. And there's the front of the card. So this is my football pop-up birthday card. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit subscribe. Thank you.